Good morning, YouTube. CGL's New Jersey Collectibles here. I'm here at the Meadowlands Flea Market at MetLife Stadium. I'm solo today. No dad tagging along today. Maybe might meet up with a friend who might show up, but we'll see what's going on at the flea market. It is pretty cold out today. Don't know what the vendor turnout's going to look like, but we've been killing it the past couple weeks, so hopefully we find some good stuff. I'll see you guys there.
No game?
Man, come on, man. Shit.
Morning.
Come on, I'm not gonna give you the game too for $10. Come on, brother. Damn, I'm starving again. I even saw these, man. I got a store. I ain't hungry. Make me an offer, man, if you like comic books. Make me an offer. See something you like.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know. I really like this. What are you asking for this big guy?
30 bucks.
30?
All those are from the 70s, my man. All of them from the 70s.
All right. I'll walk around. I'll let you know. I'll let you know.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, you too. That guy's a little cuckoo. Sorry. Excuse me.
Annie. Yeah.
Excuse me, I got three questions for you. How much for this?
$5.
5. How much for this?
5.
And how much?
It started.
Okay. And how much for the books?
Which book?
The comics here?
They're $1 each or 50 for the box.
Could I possibly do 50 for everything?
Nah, that's all. No, I can't.
60? Then 60 is for everything?
Yeah.
50 for the box, 5 and 5?
Yeah.
I'll do that. Yeah, I just bought this. Thanks.
Uh-huh.
Alright.
He's like, I think he's over 100 in there.
Yeah, I like them. I wish this wasn't started, but
I know. I'd probably get 20 for it.
here's 20, 40, 60. Thank you. Now I got to figure out how to carry it. How's it going?
Good. Did you want to go through those?
No, no, sir. Just looking.
Yeah, it's still set up. All right.
Oh, you got 27 on the model?
Graphic.
Yeah. Could you consider 30 for both?
Yeah. You want a bag?
I got one. I got one. There's 20.
So the shrink wrap, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
There you go.
Big Daddy a draw.
You dropped something, I think.
Yes, right? Might we ask them now?
You, I'll do 45.
Can I check it out?
What do you do on this?
No Scottish people.
Is it broken?
What are you doing on that?
Oh,
How
this
much?
I was trying to sell all my board games together. I'm trying to sell everything
Let me see.
in one big thing.
I'll take it. I'll leave it with you.
Yep. It's got all the legs and the battery cover.
40%?
It says it'll be available in 30 minutes.
All right, cool.
Yeah, if there's a problem, I'm space 745.
Hey, you don't mind if I have a quick look here?
Yeah, I'm selling all that by bags. That's why it's all tied up.
All the board games together?
Yeah, I'm trying to sell it all. No, I don't need the box. Thank you. There's a lot of board games. The Pokemon, there's 2 of those, Nick. You know what those go for. Those expensive.
Yeah.
Just trying to sell all of it. I'm trying to do both. I'm trying to do everything in bulk, man.
All right, I understand. How much? How are you doing? How much for the cards?
$50.
50.
Do you like Pokemon too?
You know, I was always more of a Yu-Gi-Oh kid.
Yeah,
But do you have Pokemon also?
I do, yeah.
Let's see what you got.
Some of these. These are the better cards.
Okay.
20.
Are you selling these all together? Would you consider selling any individually?
It's gonna probably be a lot, you know. Do you want to make an offer on the whole thing?
Is it just that?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be in it for like 30 bucks.
Okay.
Deal.
Thank you. So it's open it, you know, picking it apart. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
These are the Pokemon.
Hi.
Right.
Shit.
Made it done.
Yeah.
What you got on this?
$10.
Yeah, I'll pass on the Pokemon.
And then these are these holograms. I don't know if they're anything.
You know, they might be something, but I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. So just
I
do
know.
30 on that. Apollo 75. Which one? Yeah.
If you just have a 10 change. Yep. All right, guys. So we're back at the house, and well, if you saw the video, you know that we got a lot of stuff to go through. So I'm going to try to be quick. I'm not going to take up too much time, and I'm going to go through each item. I'll save the comic books for last, since I know that's what everybody wants to see. But first purchase of the day started off at this guy's stand. He had some pretty sweet deals. This Chevy Nova was already started, but it looked like a lot of stuff. I was going through the comics, and I saw somebody pick it up and started going through it, and I was like, ah, dang, they're probably gonna buy it. But since it was started, they didn't want it, and understandably so, because model kits are more desirable when they're fresh, not started. But I've been doing so well on model kits, guys, the past couple months since I've started buying them. I never bought them, and AMT is a good brand. They make some good stuff, and people buy them. So I got that for $5, along with this, which I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with this. I just, you know, when you just see something and you kind of regret buying it, but let me get you a bird's eye view here. It's just Atomic Arcade Pinball. There was something about it that was just, it was cool. And I opened it up just to check, and you know, it's not in perfect shape, but it's there. It looks like, you know, it looks like it, I don't know, it looks like it was played with a little bit. I got to check the battery compartment, didn't check it, and when the guy said $5, I'm like, it's in the box. The box isn't great, but it's not terrible either. And so 5 and 5. Then I did the comics for 50. I asked if he would bundle it all together. He said no, and I figured because it was already a pretty decent price. So I'll go through the comics in a bit. That was actually probably one of the better buys, was the comics from that guy's stand. But $10 for these two things, the pinball toy and the model kit. Then I went to this other guy. He had some nice records, but they were all individually priced. You know, he knew what he had. And I'm not a big record dealer by any stretch of the imagination. Never actually dealt in records, but I do collect them. And stuff like this I don't see all the time. BB King, I like my blues guys, especially the older guys like BB King, Buddy Guy, and even guys older than that. So seeing BB King for $7, and then he also had sealed in the plastic he said he had 27 on it, Dragnut, Ed Big Daddy Roth's new custom monster with Rat Fink, and there's Rat Fink up there. Yeah, I bought some of these Ed Roth kits in the past, and they always do well. And so combining this 27 and 7 was 34. I asked if he would do 30 for both. He said yes. So the way I see it, it's 25 for this and 5 for the record, which I think is a good deal on both items. So super stoked for that. Just do the Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Alright, so I'm not going to go through all the cards in extreme detail, but I bought this whole book for one reason and one reason only. And it was this Blue Eyes White Dragon. You see the SDK 001. That lets me know that it's an early print. And I didn't know what this card was worth by itself, but after looking it up, it's really not worth grading because the corners are a little, they look like it's been played with a little bit. They're not perfect, but in its current condition, I would say $20 on the low end for this card, with maybe an upside of 30 or 40 bucks. So that card alone pays for the entire binder. Now, I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh card collector. I'm not a dealer, so I am not up to date on a lot of this stuff. Like, we got a Japanese Blue Eyes Toon Dragon here, a good amount of foil cards. It's mostly commons in here, and unfortunately, other than the Blue Eye, like, I don't even know if I'm going to sell the Blue Eyes, honestly, because I never ever find really nice Yu-Gi-Oh cards at the flea market. This is the first time I've ever bought a really nice Yu-Gi-Oh card like this at a flea market. So I'm super stoked about that. I don't know if I want to sell that because it is super cool. I do collect them, and that would look really nice in my binder. A lot of these look like they're in very good condition. You know, it looks a little played with. The binder's a little warped, so I'm going to take them out. I'm going to put some in sleeves. The commons, probably just, you know, throw them in a bin. There are some baseball cards mixed in here and some Pokemons in the back. Don't know what they are. I'm just going to go through the book quickly. A lot of doubles and triples of cards, you know, especially with the commons, but there's some rares, there's some foils. So if anybody sees anything that they know is particularly good besides the Blue Eyes, do let me know in the comments. I appreciate that always. And otherwise, they're just keepers, collections. You know, maybe I'll put a whole lot of Yu-Gi-Oh commons on eBay for like 10-15 bucks, and somebody will buy them and have a good time with them, you know. And people still play the game. I mean, people play the game all the time, so and some people not as concerned with whether cards are common or rare or anything like that. Sometimes people actually prefer rather just cheap, affordable cards they can have fun with. So, and here's some of those Pokemon cards. Don't know. She had other Pokemon cards. I didn't know anything about them. I mean, I wasn't gonna pretend there and sound like I knew anything about them. I told her, you might have something good in here, but I wouldn't be able to tell you. But I'm super stoked about this, and I'm super stoked about it for, like I said, the one reason only is the Blue Eyes card. The card pays for everything in it, everything else. You know, I paid 30 bucks for the binder. The card's worth about $30, maybe more. So good deal. let's get into the comic books. All right, so I'm going to start off with the last batch of comics that I bought from one of our regulars, John. The only simple way I can say this is they looked better when I was looking at them at the flea market than when I took them home and started looking at them. If I could do it over again, probably wouldn't have made this purchase, but I bought pretty much like a short box. He had them in a plastic bin, but a short box of comics for $50. And yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I mean, is there $50 here or more? Maybe, but I think if I could do this purchase over again, I probably wouldn't have pulled the trigger. Probably would have just been better off grabbing a handful of individual books out of the box. Power Man, Iron Fist, and yeah, I do have to go kind of quick because there are a lot of books to go through. Robot Fighter. A lot of these titles like I've never seen before, but a lot of these are. Some of these I was going through it quickly, and I thought like, "Ooh, wow, these are vintage." But they're pretty much all these vintage 50s comics are reprints. And these were some of the things that I thought, like, I didn't check, I didn't look, I just assumed. My fault. But I mean, I don't know what these go for. These reprints, they are obviously being brand new. They're kind of in near mint condition. So we got a nice little collection here. Some of these weird fantasies. I like the covers, obviously. That's pretty cool. Here's an Iron Man, a What If Iron Man #1. Some Star Trek for what it's worth. The Trial of James T. Kirk. Some more Star Trek, #7. 13. Let me put this stack up. Coverless Felix the Cat. Fantastic Four Unlimited #1. Guest starring Black Panther. Not sure what that is. Battlestar Galactica #2. It's pretty cool. Avengers comic. Avengers West Coast. So what I got going for me right now is the fact that, I mean, I'm not counting these, so I don't know. But it looks like I got more than 50. So it looks like I paid about less than $1 a piece. What's not going for me is that they look like they're worth about less than $1 a piece. So I don't know. I did see this and I was like, ooh, you know, there's something in here, and it's in a lot worse shape than when I originally thought. This Lois Lane DC Silver Age book. It is DC Silver Age, but man, is it in rough shape. Jerry Lewis. Atlas Comics, Lomax. Submariner, and it's a good variety. I mean, there's a little bit of everything in here, which is kind of cool. Like I said, a lot of these titles never heard of. Got some Superboys. Compliments of Radio Shack. Getting a little promo in there, I guess. Warp. Archie's Joke Book. That's early. That's 10 cents. Rocky and His Friends. I guess this is a magazine or something with an exclusive poster in there. Cool World #1, DC comic. Let's see what else. Classic Illustrated Junior. Not sure I've ever seen one of those. I've heard of them, but I think it's the first time one of those has been featured on this channel. Fly, number 1. Freedom Fighters. This one's really rough. Wow. Harvey Toon. Pretty rough shape. I got a lot of these TV guides, which I knew they were in there. I didn't realize how many were in there. And I don't think there's really anything good. Oh, this is by William F. Buckley Jr. Interesting. All right. Well, now I'm interested. Some of these are water damaged. And there are more, but we do have some more comics in here. Jughead. Marvel Superheroes featuring the Hulk. The Glob. Writes again. Interesting. Not sure. Homage Studios. Swimsuit Special. The Inferior 5. Kind of looks like me and my friends. Some more of these TV guides. Let's see what else is in here. If there's anything interesting. I don't think so. These are the other lady. I'll save those for a second. Well, you got Andy Griffith on the last one. It's really water damaged. So that was $50 for all those. Like I said, I got numbers on my side. There are a lot of books there. Quality wasn't really that good, and really the subject matter, in my opinion, not really that desirable. And then I went to this lady and ended up paying $11 for these comics here. And a lot of these, you know, I just got, like these I got 2 of just because I thought it was worth it. You throw these in a batch on eBay or something. These first collector issues of Cable with the hollow foil covers, got 2 of those. And Fantastic Four number 207, Fantastic Four 204, Super Scroll on the cover. And the X-Men Ask What If Phoenix Had Not Died, number 27. So I like this little batch here. I think this was pretty worth it. And just got one more box to go through, which was probably one of the better buys of the day. All right, so this is now going back to that first guy that I bought the model kit and the Atomic Arcade pinball game from. Also said, I was looking at these comics. I think he had them last time I went also, and I didn't ask about them. I was just wondering what he had on it, and I was ready to offer him $50 for the box. And then he went out and said, you know, the comics are, I think he said like they're $1 each or $50 for the whole box. So he was already on the same page with that. And there's a good mix of stuff in here. It's a lot of Archies, from what I could tell. Let's see what else is in here. There's a lot of stuff. It's all these kind of like these kind of characters, Betty and Veronica. I'm not too familiar with all this stuff, but my dad loves this stuff. We went through this box when I got home, and he was excited to see all these books for $50. He thinks it was a pretty good deal, and I think so as well. I mean, the condition's not 100% great. I don't know if these Mickey mantles are worth anything, but I didn't even notice these when I was going through the box. Babe Ruth, for all you sports fans out there. Betty and Veronica Christmas. Some playbill stuff and some little books. Davy Crockett. It's got a lot of... We bought in bulk today. Speaking of buying in bulk, I'm not hating. That's not what I'm doing here. The one guy that I went to who I bought stuff before from in the past, he usually brings pretty cool stuff. He always brings like he brings a lot of the same stuff, but then he'll mix in some new stuff now and then. He had a board game, Milton and Bradley board game of Marvel superheroes that I really, really liked, and I never seen one in person before, only on eBay. So I was willing to pay anywhere from $10 to $20 for it if he was asking a price like that. Probably would have pulled the trigger on it. Board games aren't, you know, the most desirable collectibles, but given the subject matter, I thought it was pretty cool. And he went ahead and said that this is a response that I've only encountered a handful of times in my dealing career and collecting career. But he said, I only want to sell in bulk today. And I can never understand what that means exactly, because here I am, I'm a prospective buyer, I really like this item, and you're just gonna deny me the item because you want to sell in bulk. I don't want to buy all your board games. He wanted to sell me all his board games, and I'm just like, I don't want all these board games, I just want this one. Why can't I just pay for this? I've had a handful, a very small handful of things like that happen. One time at a collecting show, this guy was selling a bunch of Funko Pops, which I don't really collect, I don't really like them. But he had a bobblehead, a Wacky Wobbler bobblehead collection of a bunch of different subject matters and stuff. He had like 12 of them. And what the heck is this? Hang on one second. What is this? I'm not sure. Oh, here we go. Bob Dole. Not sure if that's actually, I doubt that's actually signed, but there's that, so that's interesting. Anyway, back to the story. The guy had a collection of Wacky Wobbler bobbleheads, and he had a Fruit Brute bobblehead, which, if you guys know me on my channel, I love Fruit Brute. One of my favorite pop culture characters. And the bobblehead at the time, I don't know what it's worth now, honestly, but at the time I looked it up on eBay, and it was selling for about $60 to $75 on average. It was kind of the going price for that. This one, ooh, this one got wrecked. Lay that one flat at the bottom. And I went up to the guy. I said, you know, I really like this one. He gave me the answer. I only want to sell in bulk. I ended up pulling out a $100 bill and offering him $100 for the one bobblehead, which was almost double the price of its actual value. Refused to sell it to me. Refused to sell it. Said, I only want to sell in bulk. I only want to sell the whole collection. And I don't understand, guys. It doesn't make sense to me. I get that you would ideally like to sell in bulk. You know, if somebody came along and said, I want to offer you a lump sum for the whole collection, you know, that would, as a dealer who wants to get rid of something, that's cool. I've been in situations like that, and that's always fun. It's a lot less work. You don't usually get to make as much. Usually the buyer gets a little bit of a deal, but for the amount of work that you're investing into it, it's pretty worth it to have somebody come in and just take everything. But to turn away sales on these individual items that people want just for the sake of selling in bulk, you know, it doesn't make sense. Like, I scratch my head at it every time I hear it, and I don't know if it makes sense to somebody out there. If somebody wants to comment and challenge me on that and say, well, you're an idiot, you know, you don't know how to sell, be my guest. It just does not make sense to me. If I was a seller and somebody was interested in something, I would try to get that sale done. And you know, and if they wanted to buy everything, you can buy everything. If you want to buy one thing, you can buy one thing. But why would I turn away a sale? Ooh, Yogi Bear, cool. Why would I turn away a sale on somebody that wants to buy something just for the sake of I don't want to sell it with other things. I don't want to. And you know, it's not like it was a set of anything. It was just random board games. It's like, I don't want random board games. I want this one in particular because of the subject matter. It's frustrating. And off camera, I went back to the guy. I put my stuff in the car because I was carrying so much stuff. Put my stuff in the car. The camera died. I went back to the guy and went through some of his other boxes of stuff, and he had a toy box. And I said, you want to sell the whole box of toys? He had like a big plastic tub of toys. And he was like, yeah, you know, I'll sell the whole box. What do you want to pay for it? First of all, you know, he's asking me what I want to pay for it. I'd like to just take it home for free, but you know, you got to. So first of all, you want to sell in bulk. Then I ask you what the price is. You tell me, well, what do you think? Well, I mean, God, some guys just, it just twists me sometimes. So then I give him a price. I'm like, well, I'd like to pay $30 for the box. He's like, $30? Are you kidding me? $30? I'm like, well, you said give me a price. What do you want me to do? Offer you $500 for this box? I'm sure that would be great. Then he said, I want $60 for the box. I said, nah, it's not worth it. I didn't see $60 in that box personally. So that guy's hit or miss. I mean, a couple weeks ago, I bought some really good items from him at a good price. I went to his stand, I picked out items that I liked, and I paid a fair price that he was asking for. That's how I like to do business. But the whole, I have to buy everything in order to get this thing that I want, you know, it doesn't make sense in a scenario like that. I don't understand. Maybe somebody can explain it to me. Feel free down in the comment section. And by the way, if you guys are liking any of this video, I'd appreciate a like. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, because you'll get notified when I post new videos, and it helps me out a great deal because it keeps me motivated. It lets me know that people are interested in what I'm doing, and the comments, the likes, and the subs are all in a combination. You know, really is so fun to see, and I want to thank everybody that has subscribed to the channel at this point, and especially the daily contributors. I know who you are. I see you guys all the time. Really appreciate it. It's a lot of fun. I'll make another stack here. So as you can see, I mean, a lot of the same. A lot of these Archies, Betty and Veronica's, Sabrina. That one's got a rip cover. These Peps. With a couple other variations of different genres mixed in, but a lot of the same. All in, you know, fair, readable condition. You know, nothing too bad, nothing too good. Just a bunch of really nice comics for a great price. I mean, there's got to be close to 100, maybe more. No, I'm saying there's definitely more. Definitely more than 100 books in here. So I probably paid somewhere like 40 or 45 cents a piece. Another one back here. That's a pretty cool cover. Bunch of punks at the record store. It's pretty cool. And just so I can clarify for anybody that's still watching, anybody that caught it in the beginning of the video, stopped at the one guy's stand right at the beginning. He had comics, and he had that giant Marvel comic that I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, and he wanted $30 for it. You know, I stopped at the guy's stand just because I was on camera and because I wanted you guys to see it. That's just not a guy that I like doing business with, personally. The guy is not easy to work with, is probably the most polite way I could say it. I had probably 3 or 4 interactions with him in the past. He hasn't been at the flea market in quite some time. I think it's a little too cold for him, but he came out now this week, and honestly, guys, just for going forward, I mean, I'll mention it in future videos, and I'll probably stop by his stand, but a lot of the times, you know, I walk right past his stand because it's just not worth the hassle. The guy, he'll charge like, he always talks about his comic shop and how he has a shop and everything. He has a store and he gets these prices for it. But you know, if you're going to the flea market, you can't be going market up value. You know, like he's going like whatever the guide says plus some. And like, come on, man, we're at a flea market. I'm not looking to drop. You know, he'll bring comics and he'll be like, I want $500 or I want $200 for that, and it's like $100 book maybe, and like, you're like, well, what am I buying here? He's like, well, it's the speculation, you know, these things are going to go up in value. And I'm like, okay, you know, I'm not dealing with this. And then he'll always say, you know, what are you looking for? Are you looking for anything specific? I'm like, yeah, I am, but just, you know, I'm not looking to pay anything that you're asking for. So it's just not worth it. So just a handful of interactions with that guy in the past that really turned me off. So that was that. It was an eventful day, I guess. I was surprised. I mean, there were not a lot of vendors there, which I was not surprised about. It was very cold. But I was surprised with the amount of stuff. I mean, I wish my dad was there because I had so much to carry. I was carrying it all day because I bought everything on the first row, and then I looped back, and I just kept finding things along the way, and I didn't want to walk past it in the possibility that it would disappear. Let me swap this out again. There are so many comics in here. Hope you guys are enjoying this, because I know, like, for me personally, it's not really my bread and butter. This is not these are not my favorite kind of comics. I bought these because I knew my dad would have thought that it was a great deal, and because I did understand that what I was paying, like I said, like pretty much 40 cents a book, maybe less. I mean, there's so many in here. It's worth it. It's just, it's a good deal, and he'll have fun going through these and picking things out and making batches, and there are some other stuff in here. Like here we go. Here's a little Super Friends. Nice little 80s action. But, you know, I mean, to anybody that's new to the channel, if this is the first video you're watching and you're kind of sitting through this right now looking for the good stuff, you know, I call it the good stuff, but I really like my superhero comics, particularly Bronze and Silver Age Marvel comics. That's really my main focus. That's the stuff I like, and I like buying quality over quantity a lot of the times. I don't mind a bulk buy. We've been doing a couple of bulk buys in the past couple videos, which have been good. I think they've worked out pretty well. But you know, I like picking out my individual stuff, whether it's cards or action figures or comics or Pez dispensers. I like buying, you know, the things I like, and I like leaving behind the things I don't want. So nice little Fantastic Four. The Conqueror. I thought that was Magneto for a second. I was like, that's interesting, but that is the Conqueror. And today was just, you know, I think I either dropped $170 or $180 today, and I walked away with a lot of stuff. I mean, it was well worth the money. Got some Richie Rich Millions here. Richie Rich Jackie Jokers. Really satisfied with how things went today. Some of the things that happened at the flea market made for interesting talking points. I'll mention one more thing, and I'm not trying to bash people. I'm really not trying to bash. I'm just trying to tell you guys what happened. This was also off camera when after I had dropped the stuff off and I went back. There's a Roadrunner. I really love the Roadrunner comics. There was another guy who had just pulled up. He was setting up his tables, and then he started pulling stuff out after, you know, the tables were all spread out. And on the table, on one of the tables that was set up, there was a black binder, okay? There was a black binder with like a little jewel on the top of it. I moved the jewel to the side. I went through the binder. I opened up one page and I saw a Captain America comic. So I was like, ooh, you know, let me just check it out, what's in here. And the guy said, hey, and then just went like this. He went like, no, and he didn't say no. He just shook he just like waved his hand, like, and I'm standing. I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, I didn't even know what to say. Like, you're here at the flea market. You're setting up your stand, and this binder is here on the table where you're setting up, and I'm going through it, and you don't even say like that's not for sale or whatever. I'm not done setting up yet. He just says, hey, and just like shakes his hand like you know, get away. Like, I mean I could have made a scene there. Between everything that happened today, I could have made a couple scenes. Fortunately, I was in a good mood today, so you know, nothing came of it. But oh my God, people bother me sometimes, but it's all fun. I love it. It's great. I'd rather have stories to tell than not have stories to tell. It makes for a more interesting day. And we're coming in on like the last stretch here. You can see how big this stack is at this point. I mean, this is all coming out of that one box. So I'm thinking that's over 100. And you know, we're not done yet. This Dennis the Menace is pretty rough. Some of these here in the back are a little rough. Betty and Veronica. A Laugh and a Jughead. So guys, I do apologize if this recap dragged on a little bit. I can't imagine very many of you are staying to the very end of this video. But, you know, the cool thing is that, you know, the flea market's back. People are bringing more stuff now more than ever. And we're still not anywhere near full capacity. I mean, it was 2 rows of stuff today, and there were a lot of empty spaces. So the potential at this flea market, as usual, is through the roof. You guys don't know, it's the New Jersey Meadowlands Flea Market over at MetLife Stadium, Giant Stadium. It's a great flea market. It's a great flea market. And we're gonna end the video with the Constitution of the United States. I can live with that. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing and leaving a like, and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think the best buy of the day was. Let me know what you think about bulk selling, and let me know what you think about anything that went on today in the video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.